Hello everybody, it's Yvonne Fuchs here from the Slow Stitch community. And how are you doing on this very blustery day in the UK? It's absolutely crazy wind, hence I am now in my sweater and my poncho and my hat. I've just had to pop out to see my husband to see he's okay. But I wanted to make this post because there was a very lovely discussion on the group today, started by one of our lovely people, talking about how difficult it is to accept that what's in your mind and what you actually make is not the same, and how much disappointment we can have when things don't turn out the way we want them to turn out. And one of the things I'd like to tell you is why I started stitching and how I teach my students about stitching. The thing that I know is that we've all got this little monkey that sits on the shoulder, and it's the critiquer and it's the criticizer. And when I mentor some of my clients, and many of you know that I mentor some quite well-known creatives, and when they've got this inner critic, I say, whose voice is it? And often it's a reminder of somebody's voice from the past. And the thing about this voice is that actually it's probably quite benevolent, because actually it doesn't want us to fail or make a mistake or do bad things. So in a way, it's trying to save us, but actually it's not a good one. And I addressed this question in a book I wrote many years ago, and which I'm actually revising as a slow stitch book. And I just thought I'd bring it along to show you. Now, it will be in reverse, but it's called The Art of Knowing Yourself. And if you're on Amazon and you want to see it, it says it's a book about helping you connect to your own self through art. And because I started my life as a fine artist and working in painting and drawing and teaching design and drawing for many years, I made it people to find that themselves through art. But when I started this group, I was beginning to think about revising it as a slow stitch and the art of knowing yourself. So there is going to be a book called Slow Stitch and the Art of Knowing Yourself, and I'm hoping that it will be available in the next few weeks, if not, however quickly I can get it edited and put it up there. So it's a lovely one you can buy on Amazon, and it's printed to order, which is useful. So it's really important to understand this idea of what slow stitch is. And the thing about slow stitch is that when I teach it in a way that is non-competitive, that it's basically you in dialogue with your stitching. And therefore the process of making is far more important than the result. And this is where slow stitching is very different to embroidery. Often embroidery is about making some representation of something in a very accurate way. And yes, we see some gorgeous work on the slow stitch community, which is very accurate and very beautiful. But the work I love the best is the one that is very natural, simple, childlike. And if you saw my own work, you'd be going, well, that's not very accomplished for somebody who's supposedly a teacher. Because what I do is I just allow the stitching to appear to me, and it allows me just to engage with my materials, with the yarn, with the thread and the fabric. And the reason this is very important is that I have been developing slow stitching to help people with their mental health. And if you go on the YouTube channel, you'll see a little film about me working with social prescribing, where doctors prescribe another skill rather than another tranquilizer or another tablet. And we ran it as a pilot in Whitstable here, and it was very, very, very beautiful. And people really found a way to engage in the quiet inner self. So to say to everybody, really understand what this critique is. And I can tell you, I've been working in the creative world all my professional life, 40 plus years. And of course, things are never as good in our imagination. Well, things are never good on paper, perhaps, as they are, or in cloth, as they're in our imagination. Because that's just, imagination is imagination. But the most important thing about working in the slow stitch way is to be really, really kind to yourself and just enjoy the process of stitching. And what you will find is as you stitch, you will find some beautiful aspects of thread and stitch, and then you will be able to make lovely things with it. And it's a very different practice to that of embroidery. And in fact, I call slow stitching a practice. So, as I've been telling you all, I am in the process of writing our very first little introductory pop-up course. It will be a short one, and there'll be some lovely things on it, and it will introduce this way of working. So, do not be despondent, and when you look at the lovely things that are shared on this group, please don't compare yourself. Just be joyful in what you see. I see things on the group that I could never in a month of Sundays make myself. Believe me, I couldn't. But if you find that you want to use slow stitching just to enjoy the process, then you will be absolutely amazed at what you make. And the reason that I teach the various processes is that I can give you some hints and tips how to really make creative work beautifully, how you can refine things, how you can get better. You know, I wasn't born being able to be a master carpenter. I admire people who do wonderful carpentry, but that's not my skill. But I've been doing other things for many years. And you've got to remember, everybody, you've all got things that you're brilliant at that no one else can do. So thank you so much to our participant who put up that post today. Very brave of you, very authentic of you, and I loved it. And I'm so grateful that you felt able to speak your mind and know that you will be received with kindness and support. So do check out all the other little videos I've put on there, because a lot of them discuss these type of things. And really, everybody, enjoy yourselves and be very kind to yourselves. Speak to you soon, and if you like, I'll put a link to this book underneath this, just in case some of you might want to take a peek. Take care, everybody, and bye for now.